to stand up. It's hard to stand up.
Okay.
We tried it now years ago. We just really couldn't do as good a job.
We're just going to give it about 120 seconds for folks to gather back in. Here, I know we've got the 12 to 12:45 slot, so all of our panelists today have prepared a circus act. If anyone gets bored, they're going to do something very tricky here. But no, we've got a great panel set up. A lot of this discussion has been around these emerging technologies and how you're going to use them, adapt to them, the technical aspects. But there's this thing called search that's been out there for a long time, and there's a lot to be done, I think, in entertainment especially, and in media, just around the core asset of search, and generally bringing search into the fold when it comes to the media mix. We're going to talk a lot about that. I've got a great panel with us today. Starting off on my far left, we've got Bill Masaitis, VP of Online Marketing with Fox Interactive Media. Bill heads up the centralized in-house function for SEO, so he's going to have a great perspective for us, managing it enterprise-wide across all of Fox's properties. Second, going down the line, is Robert Hayes. Robert is our Vice President and GM of Digital Media for Showtime. He's going to give us a perspective from the global brand and marketing perspective. So we'll ask him to summarize in many cases what he's feeling from a big brand perspective. Then we have Dima Zlatan, is a founder of SEMdirector. SEMdirector is an enterprise-wide software company that provides search, marketing management, and analytics software to enterprise-wide Fortune 500 companies. Again, a great perspective he'll bring from his experience with that client base. We then have Adam Stewart, who is the Industry Director of Media and Entertainment at Google. So he really owns that vertical within Google and can give us some insight from the Google perspective. And then finally we have David Fall, who's the Vice President of Product Management Search Technology at DoubleClick. He's headed up that group at DoubleClick Dart since 1999. And I think David's in a nice spot to sort of understand image search and the integration that's been taking place increasingly in that area. My name is James Lamberti. I Senior Vice President at ComScore. Been with the company about 6 years and started our Q Search practice. So I am the market researcher on the panel. I won't talk much, I promise. So starting off with a fairly obvious question here is search within the media mix. And I don't just mean within executing a campaign, because we know it's being integrated that way, although I want to hear about that. But it's also search as it's used for planning, search in the creative process, and really holistically how search is really becoming integrated. Why don't we start all the way to our left and just have the panelists talk a little bit about their experience and where they see this today and where they see it going in the next year or two.
Sure, I think that search is critically important. There's certainly conversions towards it, but it's interesting. I think it still has a long way to go. I mean, if you look at the U.S. online advertising revenue for online, I think it's around 20 billion versus a U.S. 250 billion. So you're only looking at about less than 10% being spent right now. And I certainly think that within the next few years, look at everybody here. You're going to see more and more energy, effort, money being spent on search, but it's got a while to go.
Search for Showtime, it's one of our tent poles for all of our online campaigns. Showtime was actually, as an entertainment company, was very early in search because we don't own the URL showtime.com. So we realized very early on that we needed to, as from a user's perspective, they couldn't find our website. So we were forced into doing pay-per-click and search engine optimization, probably starting like 7 years ago. It's quite a long time ago. And then we've gone through several agencies, but we use our search. We go out of house for our search using an agency. But we're always introducing new shows and new products, so it's very important for us to use it both in our online as well as incorporating it into our offline tactics.
Just a quick probing question, given you're at Showtime. You know, the CMO, how dialed in is he at this point to your efforts in search?
I'm sorry, who?
The CMO, the head of
Oh,
marketing.
absolutely. He's very early on. He needed to see the results, and when you actually look at the results, they speak for themselves. So he is a big believer in search right now. We've actually every year have increased our search budget dramatically.
Okay, great. Demon?
Just to kind of follow up on that, I think initially search was an afterthought, excess budget, trial campaigns, really looking for proof of concept points for using search either as a direct marketing vehicle or a branding and awareness vehicle. I think now within the largest brands that we're seeing is that that's actually fundamentally changed. Search is now being integrated into the overall media mix planning process at really the most sophisticated advertisers.